country. If I had to travel the world to fight, then so be it.
It's their levels and their stars and superstars. Okay, and they made the championship, not the championship made them.
Country. If I had to travel the world to fight, then so be it. It's their levels and as they're their stars and superstars. Amichem, okay. And they made the championship, not the championship made them. This is it. The dream matchup. The one fight fans have been begging for. And now it's finally happening. After years of criticism, deflections, and what some call blatant ducking, Canelo Alvarez is officially stepping into the ring with the pound-for-pound king Terence "Bud" Crawford. But it didn't just get announced quietly. Nah, they kicked it off with a face-off that shook the boxing world. Two of the most dominant fighters of this generation. One ring, one massive legacy on the line. And if that face-off was any indication, this is going to be war. The one thing about Crawford is he got guts. Them bums ain't have no guts. Them bums didn't want to win. And Crawford want to win. That's it. It ain't about no belt. It ain't about nothing. You didn't sign the contract. We want to win and he want to be the best and he is the best. So that's what's going to be the difference. You know, Crawford got guts. He's a fight. He got a fighting spirit. So when you see Crawford, he going to go in there and get busy with Canelo. Don't you even doubt that. You understand. You ain't never seen Crawford stay on the back foot and no fight in his life. You understand. He the type of guy to go get you. So expect him to go get him. We going to do everything we can to him. We going to do whatever we got to do. But one thing you can expect is Crawford is gonna step to him because you can't beat Canelo going on the back foot forever. You got to go get him. You got to do something. And he better know Crawford is coming. Let's talk about the moment that broke the internet. Crawford versus Canelo. First face-off. It went down right after Canelo's dominant win over William Skull. The Mexican superstar was still drenched in sweat. Gloves off, smiles fading, and boom. Terence Crawford walks into the ring like a man on a mission. And now we want to do the face-off for the fight of the century. The fight is September between the two great fighters in our generation. Canelo and Crawford. It will be in the stadium in Las Vegas in the 12th of September, inshallah. You could feel the tension. No security holding anyone back. No fake smiles. Just two alpha dogs staring each other down inches from history. Here it is, the official face-off. The date September 12th. Allegiance Crawford, cool and collected as always, just smirked. Meanwhile, Canelo's body language screamed, "You're in my house now." Two-time undisputed champion Bud Crawford. How are you feeling about that fight? No, I feel great. You know, Kraus is one of the best out there and you know, I like to share the ring with that kind of fighters and it's my pleasure. And the crowd, the MGM Grand went nuclear. Fans were split down the middle. Some chanting Canelo Canel while others roared Bud Bud. We haven't seen this type of energy since Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Let's be very clear. This ain't just another big fight. This is the fight Crawford has wanted for years. Ever since he stopped Errol Spence Jr. and became the undisputed welterweight champion, Bud's been calling out Canelo publicly consistently. But every time Canelo had an excuse. He said, "I won't come down and wait. He's too small. I can't go down anymore." But, you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the German fight, they don't want to get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's going to say it's too small. It's too small. It's too small. And then, you know, he need to enjoy his fight. He deserve it. He deserve it. I like Spence, but you know I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything, but I knew I think is the type of fighter Terefu is his fighter is different 168, but like he say nobody's going to give me credit for that. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, Crawford was stacking bodies and building a resume that made every excuse look weak. He's been running through divisions like a boss. From lightweight to junior welter to welterweight, and now he's ready to walk through the gates of super middleweight. So, every time I see him, he'll come and be like, Canel, yeah, you know how do you be like, I'll be like, man, come on, man. Yeah. So every time he say that, you know, I just be like gradually getting into like looking at like, okay. And he's not that big, you know, he heavy, but he not that big, right? You know, and I'm just like, alright. I'm laughing, but at the same time, it start hitting me like, alright, man. Maybe he onto something, you know. And then I start sizing him up and I'm like, alright, well, Canelo 57, you know, my arms longer. Yeah. He's strong. I'm strong. You know, it be to me skill for skill, right? You know, you cuz Canelo not the biggest 168 fighter. So, I just started looking into it and I'm like, man, no more hiding, no more dodging. Because after Canelo's latest win over William Skull, the fans demanded something bigger. And Canelo knew he couldn't stall anymore. I've been beating up big dudes all my life cuz they underestimate your humble. It's just even if they didn't, I'm going to beat you up, you know. I can fight, right? You know, so if you watch like all these dudes bigger than me. Yeah. You know, like I don't care. But I'm gonna find a way to win no matter what. In September, are you gonna pull this? I shook up the world. I told you. 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 Definitely. Definitely. That's definitely going to be, you know, me one of the moments. You know, I need the doubters to fuel me. What you think he'll do if he go up 2 more weight classes? I need that, you know, because that's going to make me more focused and turned into a different animal. So, I need the people to say I can't do this or I'm not good enough or I'm not. And guess who was making all that noise every time Canelo dodged Crawford? None other than Oscar de la Hoya. William who? Canelo William who back in New York over here. No, let's just say Canelo Crawford. In the history of boxing. And this is the facts. If you see Thursday's Fact Thursdays, I speak the facts. Alright. I even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game. Unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man. So it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, this is the truth. Again, the bad blood between him and Canelo runs deep. And ever since Canelo ditched Golden Boy Promotions, it's only gotten nastier. Company you fought under for decades has always had one name and it's mine. So put some __ respect on it. As for Haim, he has always dared to be great just as he's this Saturday night of AS full circle for him. Remember when so best believe when Canelo finally steps in the ring with Bud. Oscar's going to be ringside backing Crawford all the way. Cause let's be real, there's nothing De La Hoya wants more than to see Canelo catch an L. But Crawford doesn't rely on his power. He relies on his IQ. Crawford, what he did to Spence was magic, was incredible, was amazing. And so, look, one thing about Canelo is that we all know that he walks in the ring as if there's wet cement, right? His footwork is a little too heavy. Crawford is such a smart fighter where he can he's like Bruce Lee literally and he's in his peak. He's his prime. And so I think that if that fight ever happens, which I don't think it will, if that fight ever happens, I have to go with Crawford. There you have it. Of De La Hoya talking about Crawford. Now, let's rewind to what led us here. Canelo vs. William Skull. Canelo fans, please pray for Canelo. He's about to fight with Skull and Saudi. Pray for Canelo, bro, pray for Canelo, bro, but don't you get it? Canelo will never lose cause Turkey needs him to win. Yeah, he's not going to lose. There's no way Turkey gets his Crawford fight if Canelo loses. So, that's not happening. It's a deeper, darker criminal link. I don't trust it. Pray for Canelo, man. Turkey might say, yeah, you was talking all that, __, when I was first trying to get you. Now look what we going to do for you. We got you in Riyadh. Let's get that L up off you. And you still got to fight Crawford. Skull came in undefeated, highly touted and hungry. But from round 1, it was obvious he wasn't on Canelo's level. Canelo just stood in the center of the ring, took his time, and broke Skull down like he was doing cardio. He boxed a little bit too much, defensive-minded a little bit too much. Right hand to the body there from Canelo. Ultra elusive, if you want to call it that. Body shots, uppercuts, cutting off the ring like a veteran. He made it look effortless. At times, it felt like Canelo was just getting rounds in. How are you feeling after your great performance tonight? No, I feel great. I win, you know. I have to put a great show, but you know, to put a great show, you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win. Are you frustrated with William Scott? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. But what did you say to him at the end of the fight? I say to him, you know, you just come to you cannot win a fight like that, fighting like that. And he say I'm sorry. You know, it's my first time and I just try to put a good fight and I'm so sorry. That's fine. How are you feeling after your great performance tonight? No, I feel great. I win, you know. I have to put a great show, but you know, to put a great show, you need both.